Right, the weekly anticipation. I've decided to do it Monday night because of that the holidays and the fact that today was also a holiday. Last week we had that on the euro dollar. You remember that piece of consolidation there, and eventually I said that for me that will be the area that I would like to trade in, and that's exactly what happened there. And then it went right through, and then it got some heavy support at that specific level, and I was wondering what happened, and that's why it's so important just to look a little bit wider than the normal, and you will see right over there's resistance, and then the breakout above that resistance. Let's go to the daily, and you can see there what happened. It came down to it, and then all the way start moving back up, bouncing off that specific line there. So currently you can see there's again some consolidation there. So once again, that is quite a an area. The 146 level was breached there, and it's just around it, starting to get some resistance there. Right, I don't think a lot of people expected that. I also expected a break if it came down below that that upper the wedge going upwards, that we're going to see a retest of this line. But it just shows you to look at a longer time frame. That might also play a role, and it showed you there. For the week, I can't really say. We're way above the 21, so to me that will be the area that I will look to target. I don't think whether we can do that now. It's moving away from that, so it's a bit difficult to say. But at least there's some room coming down there to the 21, about 100 pips. That's where I will look to get involved, if I must, with a shorter time frame strategy. It can still break to the top just above the 146 level, so just watch for that as well. British pound has broken that intermediate trend line there and then pulled back to it, so that's the region that I would look to go into. You can see I also got a weekly trend line there coming through right there, and then currently at that specific point right over there, just above it. So that's also going to play a role. If the price bounce off there and going upwards, that will be the target. So that's the region that I will be looking into trade as well. If it moves inside the triangle, then the 21 EMA will be the target. Swizzy, once again, also there was a weekly trend line that came from those 2 points, and then you can see there what was quite nice is the pullback to that specific trend line right over there, and once again, and then started coming down. So don't know whether that is still in place anymore, but you can see there's even, if you put that right there, there's some support that can happen right over there. So once again over here, if there's a nice bullish candle, I would say the 21 EMA will be the next target. If it breaks through, I will wait for a pullback and then a coming down. Switch to the 4 hour if there is a breakout for the pullback and the move away. US dollar, Japanese yen. I had some interesting long-term trend lines here, which I will show you just now. Right, there was that move back inside I don't know whether that, I don't think that is intact anymore. I think I can take that off. There was a retest of that specific bottom trend line there. We talked about last week for that possible bounce upwards, but it decided to come down towards, I think we talked about the 89 as a target, but it went down to this bottom trend line as well. Currently, there can be support, but that is quite a strong down move. So don't be surprised if this thing breaks through. Currently, all the moving averages coming together. It shows you there's a lot of emotion that's going to be, we might see a bit of a floating here because of those moving averages. So just watch that as well. Let me go to the weekly and just show you those. You can see it nicely right there, right over there, and right over there, and again over there, where the price is at that upper, that specific trend line right over there. So that is quite a long trend line that was in place on the weekly. On the daily, it currently is a little bit above. See there, one can shift it. It's difficult on the weekly to get it 100% correct. Can even come down a little bit more. There it is. You see, then it makes it close to where we are. That's why there was some resistance there. So it's very important also to take a longer time frame and put your resistance levels or your support and resistance trend lines in. Aussie dollar, there was also that one over there. Okay, let's just see the US dollar. Okay, we talked about it, the possibility of a movement sideways and maybe a breakthrough. But that will be the region that I will be looking at, above the 200 SMA, towards that trend line. So we might see a retest in time of it. So that will be the region that I'll be looking in. The Aussie also, a trend line. I've drawn it from there, and you can see there was definitely something there, right over there on the weekly. Even on the daily, you can see it even much better, right over there. So that is why there was resistance all the time there, and then the breakthrough currently that happened. That specific trend line, let me just look at the weekly. Yeah, one can lower it a little bit. And that will make it some possibility of, doesn't want to now. Doesn't want to. Sorry for this, let me just quickly fix this. Right, I just quickly had a look at that trend line. I don't think I can or take it down there, because then I'm going to run into trouble around over there, and that then I'm not true to my to the trend line. So I still think there's a little bit of room up there. So don't be surprised if it goes to touch it. 109 level is there. Retest may be there, and then maybe a coming down. Let's just move to the daily and see what we got there. The daily is definitely showing something there, but as I said, there's possibility of a retest there before moving down. The other thing is this breakout level hasn't been retested really, so there's a possibility of a down move somewhere around there. There's about 50 pips down to that level. So this one to me is both sides, so I won't really get involved there. Euro Japanese yen, as we expected, came down towards this top trend line. and then the bounce away. So there were some nice pips to be made if you were watching the Euro Japanese yen for that move down there and then up now. There were some pips there to be made. Currently, very difficult to say. It pulled back below the 21, then it came above the 21, starting to coming down, and then normally the rule says it's going to come down to the 89, but one has to watch that upper trend line. So that will be the region. You can see the 365 EMA was totally ignored there, so I won't bother with that. But yes, definitely there's over 100 pips that can be made in that region right over there. So that will be my favorite for the week, if I have to say something that I will watch, and that is that area over there. Let's go to the 4 hour and see whether we can't mark it a little bit better. Something like that. That's what I'll be looking at, right? You can see there it was a test of the 89 twice and then a lower high. So for me, this is a signal. You can see right over there. Let me just change that to the original color. Right. So a break there. That's the area that I will get involved with. And then down to the 89. That's about 108 to the 200 SMA. That's about 120 pips. That will be my favorite for the week. So let's see how this is going to play out, and hope you make some pips.